Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Coco Mom 11. I'm just here today just to share some of the knowledge or information that I've been researching. I've been finding out about a lot of things that, you know, I was taught when I was young. I'm sure some of you have found out a lot of things too. You were taught. When you find out the truth today, it's like almost like the whole uh, life that you led up until this point has been a lie. And we just need to get to the bottom of the truth right now. That is what matters. All of these things about Black Lives Matter, this life matter, it's really about, the human lives all matter right now. And so that's what we need to be focusing on getting to the bottom of all of this turmoil. And I think one of the things is that we have not been taught the truth. So we've been practicing falsehood and lies, not knowingly, but unknowingly. And so, as you grow up, you have to learn things as a grown-up, okay? I don't want to use the word adult too much, because when you look up adult is a stupid person. So, we have to grow up and we have to learn things. It speaks about in the Bible, when I was a child, I did childish things. Now that I am a man, I have put away those childish things. So, we have to grow up. We have to start taking responsibility for what we do. And one way to do that is to gain knowledge, find out information, find out the truth. Whatever religious practices you're practicing, maybe you should stop for a moment and find out, where did these originate? Was this something that originated from the beginning, or was this something that was placed upon a people and then now it's just tradition? So let's just take a few moments, just to learn some things. And I just would like to share something that I found out, and it's the universal laws. Okay, so I'm just going to go over about 14 of them. And if you just bear with me here, that's what we're going to do. So the universal laws. Okay, so let's start with the first one, divine oneness. That one is very, very important, because we are all a part of the whole. A lot of times we like to talk about how this didn't happen to me, and it's her fault, and it's her, and that's him, and that's not me, and on this side everything is fine. Well, yeah, that's great, that's fine and dandy, that's true. But at the same time, what happens to someone else does affect the whole, and what you do can affect someone else. So we need to start thinking along the lines of, it's just a collective. We're all one. It's all collectively. Our thoughts, our minds are all collected as one. We have all been fractionalized and made to separate, and made to think that one was better than the other. They use this race baiting. Some people call it the race card. But we have to learn that we are all connected in this. Yes, there is a divine oneness within us all. Okay, another one is the law of attraction. That's probably the most familiar. That one just says, what you think about the most, you will get. As a man thinketh, that's what he is. He is what he thinks about the most. So if you would like to have happy things, great things in your life, that's what you should do. When things are not going right, maybe it's because of your thoughts. You should stop for a minute and check your thoughts. Maybe you should have a little thing where you practice, what am I thinking? Why did this happen? What was I really thinking? And once you sit down and start having these playbacks in your mind, you'll come to find out that, yeah, I was thinking that, so maybe that's why that happened. But if you start thinking something else, then this will happen. So whatever you think about most, that's what you will attract to you. Whatever energy vibes you have on you, whether you are aware of them or not, they will be presented and represented through things that happen to you, through your thoughts, you know, through your actions. So, you know, just be mindful. Like they say, mindful eating. Let's do mindful, you know, thoughts. What am I thinking today? Why did this happen? Let's attract those things that we desire. Another one is the law of cause and effect. Cause and effect. That's a big one. You know, they have these things called accidents and mistakes and mishaps and happenstance. No, none of that is true. There's no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. It happened, that's the effect, because something was going on in that time of your life, in your mind, you know, in your aura that you weren't aware of. Okay, so that's where it is. You have to be mindful of what you're thinking. Okay, cause and effect. Then we have the law of perpetual transmutation. That means everything is always changing. You can change your mind. You have a right to change your mind. Just because you said something, you can go back and say something else. Because what you have said in the beginning may not be at your best interest. So you can always change your mind, especially if things aren't going the way you desire. You have to and you should change so that you can control how the things are going. It's perpetual. It's always going on. It's always happening. You can change your mind. You know, sometimes we get in situations and we think, oh, but I said such and such, and guess what? You can call them up and tell them, oh, well, I won't be able to do this. I promise so. You can go back and change your mind, but you have to go back and change it. If you said something that you're not going to do, that you didn't mean to say, or things are not going right, go back and change it, okay? You have a right to. Okay, there's another law, the law of polarity. Okay, it's opposites. There's opposites. There's south, there's north, there's east, there's west. It's hot, it's cold. There's right, there's wrong. There's left, there's right. You know, so just remember that everything has a polarity. So you can work with these different polarities if you are aware of them. If something is going good in your life, guess what? There's probably something going bad as well, but it may not be something that is like, you know, that's going to be like this causes major catastrophe. But there's always polarity, and there's nothing wrong with polarity, because that's just making you aware of that things are going on, and you have to be aware so that you can be able to use this perpetual transmutation to change it, and you know, it would affect your life in a desirable manner. And we have another law, the law of gender. The law of gender. There's male and female counterparts in everything. It's in plants. It's in animals. It's in plumbing. It's in electricity. You always have male and female parts. If you start to study biology, if you start to study electricity, if you start to study plumbing, you will find out that there's male and there's female. There has to be that, because all of these balance each other. Two males don't balance each other. Two females don't balance each other. I'm not trying to tell people how to live. It's just a fact. It has to be opposites. Okay? Then we have a law of gestation. The law of gestation. Sometimes it said divine timing. It may not come when you expect it or when you like it, but guess what? When it comes, it's right on time. Okay? So just wait. Everything has an incubation period. After that incubation period, guess what? It's coming forth. It's just like a child. Those incubation periods are probably longer than what we've like them to be, but it's a gestation. You know, things that grow have a gestation period. Prosperity has a gestation period. And all gestation periods are neither short or long. They are what they are. So just be patient, because sometimes you get it and you get it so fast that you don't even realize, you don't even see it, and you miss it. So just know everything has gestation. Then there is the law of gestation, gender, polarity, just called attraction. They call it belief. But, you know, we'll get into etymology, but because this word has be lie, and I don't know if I agree with that, but it just means, you know, whatever you have faith in, you know, if you have trust that something is going to come, you know, everybody has a right to their own. I cannot tell you how to think or how to decide where you're going to put your faith and all your hopes and dreams. That's up to you. No man or woman can push that on another. You know, I really hate when some of these religious folks try to bully you into being a part of their social dynamic. That's their social dynamic. It's not mine. If it's not what I'm feeling in my heart, if it's not what you're feeling in your heart, do what you feel, because you have a right. Okay? Just like they have a right. So just remember, everybody has a right to live as they believe, like I say, the word believe. I'm going to get a better word, guys. Believe me, I am. And women, I'm going to get a better word for this. Okay? There is another law, the law of rhythm. Everything has rhythm. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Okay? The cycles, their seasons. They're fall, spring, fall, spring, summer, winter. You know, the moon have phases. Everything has cycles, you know, 365 days. And so you just have to remember, all of these work for your greatest good when you are being aware, when you are practicing them. You just have to know. Sometimes we don't know. That's why I'm here to give you as much information as I can, because I think everyone deserves the truth. It's time for your eyes to be open. It is 2020. Okay? There's the law of compensation. Compensation. Everyone must be paid for what they do. It doesn't have to be money. It could be bartering. It could be time. It could be gifts. You know, it could be food. Whatever the person decides to give you, but you all have to agree. You have to agree that if I do something for you, you do something for me. You know, and that's not always true, because sometimes you could just do it out of the goodness of your heart. So you don't always have to get something to give something. But there is a give and take when you are working consistently, or you are doing something that, you know, your time is valued. So it should be considered. You should be given consideration, compensation for your time and your efforts when you're doing things for others. Okay? There is relativity. The law of relativity. What is relative to you is relative to you. Okay, if you're going through something and I have never been through it before, you should not expect me to be able to relate to you if I've never gone through it. I could have empathy for you, but I can't really relate, because what your test is not my test, and what my test is not your test. So everyone has things that they have to relate to. Okay? And we have the law of vibration. Law of vibration. Everything on this planet vibrates, and it vibrates in a cylindrical or circular motion. You know, when we were in school, I don't know which elementary classes or studies you had, but in science we had this thing called live and living and non-living. And if it didn't breathe or reproduce or eat, it was non-living. Well, that's not true, because that's living just means it has energy. But they wanted to keep, yet again, a crucial key from you, that everything has energy. This vibration is talking about energy. Everything has energy. Everything, everything, everything. Okay? Correspondence. The law of correspondence. Correspondence. That is something where it corresponds to your situation. It corresponds to your energy. You have certain things here that you have to do. And what you do here on the physical also is affected what you do here in the spiritual. As above, so below. As within, so without. So, we have to just be mindful. Sometimes things are getting rough and tough down here on this physical plane, but guess what? In the spiritual plane, if you are into ancestry, honoring, they are working in your favor. So, just know that sometimes it may not look so good on the outside, but on the inside, baby, it's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful picture. As above, so below. Okay. So these are just some of the laws of the universe that I thought I would share because, it's time that we wake up, that we learn what we need to know. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13. There's at least one more law, and we just have to make sure that we are aware of everything, because there is nothing that happens on this planet without all of these laws taking place, whether we are conscious or whether we are unconscious of it. It is taking place. So it's time that we get, the information that we need so that we can do what we're supposed to do. And that is the final one, the law of action. You have to put into action all of these laws. All of these laws are just not here. They have to be put into action. And you can be easy about it. It's nothing that's going to be, too hard or too easy, but it can be just calm. And if you're informed, you can just let it go, let it flow, and just be mindful of your emotions, because your emotions is what's going to drive this. Okay, if you can get your emotions under control and just let that feeling go inside and come out in a manner that is beneficial, you will come out a winner every single time. So guys, women, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Thank you.